In this video, I gathered 4 random people who don't know each other to compete in a Dead Rails challenge. Valentina, Mick, Lucia, and Ben. They will be competing while myself and Acro follow them around to record and see what they do. For every 10 kilometers they survive together, they get 1,000 Robux each. And if they win the game, they get 10,000 Robux each in total. But the twist is, if they die, they lose all of the Robux they earned on the journey. The rules are, they have to stop at least once every 10 kilometers. And at every safe zone, they get the chance to vote if they want to stop and keep the Robux they earned so far or continue and risk it for more. So with that said, let's get into the round and see if these 4 random people can work together to win Robux. They started off with Lucia collecting the money and heading to the gun store while the rest headed to the general store. Inside the gun store, Lucia ended up buying a revolver and 1 box of ammo, meaning she is the protection of the group.
Oh, she is ready.
The rest of them went to collect the newspaper for fuel and each bought coal, giving them 3 coal and a bit of extra fuel from the newspaper when they need it. But there seems to already be drama with Valentina getting upset at Mick for messing with a newspaper barricade she was setting up.
It looks like there's already yelling going on. Valentina seems upset at Mick.
And for some reason, Valentina and Ben were also arguing. Not a good start for them.
They don't seem to be working together so far, but maybe that will change in the future, right?
Then they finally started the train and began moving, but there was one issue, the time.
They finally went out and it's 2 p.m. already. They have barely any daylight left.
Eventually, they finally reached the first stop of the video.
Okay, their first house. Surely nothing will go wrong.
Hopefully not.
They ended up using the trick to kill the zombies from the outside, keeping them safe.
She's using the trick. Smart.
They ended up getting a good bit of items, but after walking out, they realized Mick went alone to the house ahead.
Mick went to the other house.
Did he walk all the way over?
I think he did.
Unfortunately for them, it was just about to be dark, so they had to hurry fast. But luckily for them, Lucia was a team player and took the train over to them.
Lucia is smart, taking the train over here.
Fortunately for them, they got back on the train in time for the first night. All they need to do now is get to the first safe zone.
Okay, at least they made it back to the train on time.
They did, just in time.
The first night was lightning, which means they had a small chance of getting struck by lightning. Luckily, they all survived and made it to the first safe zone.
That means all of you now have 1,000 Robux pending here.
Looks like Mick's over here making his money. Got a whole $5.
And Lucia, also $5.
They did not make much money. So Valentina only has 1 coal left, they said. And do you notice any coal in the shop?
I do not.
With only 1 coal and a few extra fuel items, they are running dangerously low on fuel and still only have 1 person with a gun. So with that, it's now time to ask the question if they want to continue or risk the Robux they got so far.
Do everyone here wish to continue, or do you want to stop now?
With no hesitation, they all said continue and with no thought immediately started going again, leaving the safe zone with unfortunately not much more than they entered with.
Let's keep going then.
You see how Ben said we can win? I don't think they can.
I'm not sure either.
Off they go and it's 2 p.m. They wasted all their daylight again.
And because they didn't have much daylight, they decided to stop at the first place they came along to get it out of the way.
Looks like they're getting off at the worst house. Valentina is wanting to barricade inside the blue house.
They used the trick again to kill the zombies through the wall. Unfortunately, there was barely anything in this burning home.
I'm not sure, but it looks like they barely got any fuel from this house, which means they are running extremely low.
Okay, I think they're just choosing to go back. Not a lot of communications between these people. I think Valentina's crashing out.
Valentina doesn't feel heard within the group, I think.
No.
Because of them choosing to go without discussing at all, Valentina was upset because she wanted to barricade in the home. But it was either agree with leaving or get left behind, but they were about to encounter a bigger issue.
So they currently have only about 40% fuel. It's about to turn night and they're still 6,000 meters away from the fort and they have no more fuel.
City in the back.
Wait, Mick just got off to go to it. And it's turning nighttime.
Mick sent everyone into a panic and they immediately considered leaving Mick behind. Luckily, he turned around, but the group was now confused and unsure about Mick.
Could have just gotten everyone killed right there with one selfish decision.
They were on their way again towards the next safe zone, but then disaster struck.
Valentina.
And it seems like Valentina fell off and is being attacked by a werewolf.
They stopped to help her, but they were too late and Valentina ended up dying.
Oh, and she's dead. Lucia's fighting. I think they can do this.
They're gonna try to save Valentina.
And then it ended up getting even worse, even for us, the camera crew.
It looks like it's a full moon, so werewolves are gonna keep spawning.
I know.
Luckily, we were able to survive and they ended up bringing Valentina's body on board. Then they quickly started the train.
Okay, they successfully saved Valentina. They'll have to get a bandage to revive her. They are trying to use Valentina as fuel.
Oh, and by quickly starting the train, I meant they are out of fuel and they didn't realize.
Guys, keep going.
They ran out of fuel.
Oh.
Luckily, they ended up putting in just enough fuel to get the train moving again and had just enough to get to the next house.
For some reason, they're taking Valentina's dead body with them. Did they have a bandage?
Who had a bandage?
Valentina has now finally been revived, and it turns out Lucia in the very beginning bought a bandage without anyone knowing. But unfortunately, she has no items at all now, and there's something just as unfortunate.
So there's bad news in it. There's a gunsmith, which means there probably won't be much fuel.
Fortunately for them though, their luck turned around and another building was closed.
They are really lucky with this red building right now because that is the best building you can get.
And unfortunately for them, once again, they had a fuel issue.
So there is very bad news for our friends here. They're gonna get a lot of money from that building. I just checked the general store and there is no coal.
And for some reason, instead of focusing on what he needs, Mick started assembling a werewolf.
Don't build it, we will all die. Stop. Mick, I think you might want to listen to your teammates.
But what they were about to find out is Mick made a horrible mistake.
Oh, he put it in the machine thing. We can't get it off. Oh.
They just wasted the brain in the jar.
That was $250, guys.
And once again, everyone was mad at Mick, but at least they got the train inside the safe zone along with some fuel. Then Mick did something super selfish once again.
And there's no coal. First, Mick is spending all his money on... Mick just spent every single dollar they made on a weapon for himself.
Oh my god.
Did you just spend all of your money on yourself and not the rest of the team? Valentina seems quite upset over this.
But even with Mick's selfish behavior, they ended up having a decent amount of fuel, items, and money due to the big red building. So now it's time to see if they want to keep the Robux they earned so far or continue once again.
Do you all wish to continue this game, or do you want to end it now? You now have 2,000 Robux each. Continue, continue, continue. What about you, Valentina? Continue even if I am suffering. Well, let's keep going then.
Something tells me Valentina does not like this team.
And once again, they all wanted to continue and started moving right away with no communication.
I think Mick is just going for it.
Yep, no team discussion.
They ended up stopping at the first house they came by and got the chance to use their new weapons.
If you go down here, that will count as the one time you have to get off, and you decided to do that.
Using their newly found weapons very nicely.
They decided to loot this house and take everything out of it, then rush to the next safe zone as fast as they can. As they were arriving, a werewolf night fell, which is good for them since they can sell the bodies for a lot of money.
Well, they're gonna get quite a bit of money here.
But even though they had a lot of money, they had one big issue still.
Anna, while they do that, come over to the general store once more. Is there anything that they might need, possibly missing?
There's no coal here.
That's not very good.
Even with that issue, it is now time to see if they want to keep the Robux they earned so far or continue for the third time, which means they are up to 3,000 Robux earned each.
Do you guys wish to continue? You now have 3,000 Robux saved up. You want to continue or end it here?
Even with the issues of communication and lack of fuel they have, they still pick continue with confidence in themselves.
So, Valentina, how are you feeling so far about this team, and do you think you're going to win? No. Okay, just a flat no.
And by confidence in themselves, I mean they hate each other and Valentina doesn't think they'll win. But they began going once more and stopped at the first house in hopes of fuel.
Okay, it looks like there's a furniture store, luckily, that they just stopped at, and that usually has a lot of fuel. And fuel indeed, they have gotten coal.
And then they were off again, but then something happened that would change the entire course of this video.
Oh no.
They ended up getting attacked by a random group of bandits on the course, but that wasn't even the bad part yet.
What are you sitting on a chair for?
I accidentally did it and I couldn't get up.
Lucia decided to jump off.
Ooh, and Lucia's off the train.
They are all going right now to get the stuff, and unfortunately it just turned nighttime at the exact same time they're doing that.
Vampires.
Valentina can choose to leave her entire team behind right now to save her life, or she could not do that. Valentina, this could be you leaving your team behind right now, the team that has given you anger issues this entire time. Valentina actually just took the train and left them behind.
Oh my god.
What? Lucia and Mick got left behind. Valentina, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Luckily, Ben was on board with Valentina when she left Mick and Lucia. The craziest part is, Lucia saved her originally when she was dead. Unfortunately, they both ran out of fuel shortly after and had to fight off vampires, but lived barely. But then those that was left behind and thought to be dead and abandoned by Valentina was seen in the distance.
That's them in the background there. They're riding back.
Do we wait for them, guys? Do you want to wait for your teammates?
That's up to what Valentina chose. Lucia and Mick are back now.
Mick and Lucia ended up using the fuel they had to get the train going once again, which they used to get straight to the safe zone, which means they once again get to vote. And the pressure is truly on now, because how could they possibly trust their teammate Valentina now after letting them die so easily? You now have 4,000 Robux each. Do you want to continue or do you want to end now? Valentina seems to want to stop this game now. Lucia wants to continue. That means we have to continue because one person said we have to. 3 people actually did. So Valentina, we are going to continue this, risking your 4,000 Robux. As you could expect, Valentina was the only one who didn't want to continue. But since one person said yes, she has to go with them. But when all hope seemed lost, there was even less hope to be had.
And there is once again no coal at the general store.
Without coal, once again, they bought what they could, including guns for each of them. And then they had a small discussion about leaving people behind. Lucia is saying, can we all agree to not leave anyone behind?
Mick said, I agree to them not leaving each other behind, but Valentina hasn't said anything yet.
Oh, she agrees. With a gun to her head. After talking while still cautious of each other, they seem to have made up. They have a lot of resources and are ready to continue, which they did and stopped at the first house once again.
They're gonna go into this house and there is nothing in here for them. There is 1 wheel and 1 vase. They didn't really need anything right now though. They just needed to get their stop done.
After that house, they had more than enough resources to get to the next safe zone, which they did as fast as they could and ended up making it. Each of you now have 5,000 Robux earned, which means you're like halfway there. So, do you want to continue or end it here? Continue, continue, continue. And what does Valentina say? Continue. Okay, awesome. They seem more confident once again and all voted to continue. Before continuing, they got lucky and werewolves came out, so they got a lot of free money by farming the werewolf bodies in the safe zone. But then finally they were off once again and stopped immediately at the first house they could to stay safe.
There is 0 fuel here for them. They're gonna have to do another stop, otherwise they're gonna run out of fuel, I believe.
Unfortunately, it didn't go to plan cause there was no fuel, so they went on their way. But confusingly, they didn't stop for the next house.
It looks like there's another house they'll stop for. Nope, they are not stopping. Why would you not stop for that? That is, alright, keep going. Go you. Pop off. Alright.
I think Lucia is confident that they have enough. But then they decided to take a massive risk and stop at a fort, one of the most dangerous stops.
It looks like Lucia does not want to stop. Oh no, Valentina fell off.
And now she's getting attacked from zombies.
It looks like now they're all getting off and going to the fort. I don't know why that decision was made, but Lucia probably doesn't feel too great about this decision. This is one of the most dangerous areas to try and loot in the game, and they are going for it. Oh no, Valentina is dying. Valentina's dead. Oh no.
Is the rest of them going to save her?
Mick is reviving Valentina.
Aww, look, no hate.
They just killed everything in here. So it looks like they're about to all get rifles, all get revolvers, all get ammo and bandages. That was a pretty wise stop.
After looting the armory, they continued collecting and overstayed their welcome. They ended up getting attacked by more bandits, then night fell and put them into a panic.
And no one is helping Ben.
Ben is about to die.
Oh, Ben is dead.
Oh, and it's vampire night, guys. I think you might want to hide here and get a barricade. They revived Ben, then decided to barricade inside for the night and fend off the vampires. They came really close to dying, but barely ended up surviving through the night. They ended up getting back to the train, fueling it up, then continuing on their journey to the next safe zone. Now loaded with new weapons, ammo, and a ton of other valuables from their successful stop at the fort. Oh, and they got a cannon.
And Mick just killed every single horse. They now have no horses. Congratulations, Mick. You just screwed over your entire team.
Now with Mick being hated by his team even more, they finally gotta move on and went to the next safe zone. There's only one thing they need now, and it's fuel. The only thing they haven't gotten enough of yet.
Now the question is there coal in this general store? Oh, wow. There's this strange black rock here. I guess you don't need that. Okay. I admit, guys, there is coal.
And luckily for them, there indeed was coal, which means they have everything they possibly need. All of them have the best guns, ammo, and now they all have the fuel they need. Now the question is, do they continue? Is he leaving? Oh wait, but guys, we didn't do the vote.
I guess they're continuing. That's the vote.
And by vote, I mean immediately continued without voting for whatever reason. They now have 6,000 Robux earned each and stopped at the first stop they could to get it out of the way, knowing they don't need any more resources.
I guess they're gonna make the doctor's office their one stop.
From there they ended up going straight to the safe zone as expected, the final one before the final fort. We then held the next vote and there was an obvious answer. So you're kind of at the last safe spot before we get to the end and you all wish to continue, it seems. So this is 7,000 Robux you have right now. 3,000 more is waiting you. So are you ready? Are you all prepared? Alright, well, let's go for it.
Mick is driving off and doesn't realize that he just left Lucia behind.
Oh.
Mick, you're not very good for your team.
They once again were off to the final fort, but first stopping at a building to follow the rules. After they did that, they proceeded to the ending and stopped right outside while it was nighttime and the fight began.
There's a zombie attacking Val right now.
Not only is there zombies attacking them on board, they are now at the fort. Ben says he's low on ammo, and Valentina is really hurt.
Oh no, Mick is dead.
Oh no, there's wolves. I'm gonna die.
I'm getting, I'm dead.
Mick is alive. They revived. Okay, it looks like they're having some issues, but not too many scouts dead now. But it looks like they might have cleared out the end.
It was a very short but intense fight and they had some of the difficulties, but otherwise not much happened and they cleared the fort and now they only have one more obstacle in the way until they get 10,000 Robux each.
All they have to do now is lower the bridge.
I am very impressed that they actually completed this. The first 10k, they made me doubt, y'all.
Didn't really seem like they had it.
No, not really.
They then got on top of the bridge, making them almost perfectly safe and started the bridge lowering process. Since they were on the top of the bridge, they had no trouble and they officially beat Dead Rels and won 10,000 Robux each.
3, 2, 1. Boom. Nice! You did it!
Even though I completely doubted their teamwork because of how poorly they worked together, towards the middle they finally pulled it together and figured out what they need to do to win. And fortunately for them, they did win and got 10,000 Robux each. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe for more. And if you want another video like this, please hit the like button. I hope you all have a wonderful day.